So this is going to put a damper on my plans for here. I had new plans here. Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California. So I was going to extend this with Gary and make this different. I love this dog kennel. I can grow everything. I haven't done anything in there. I don't even go in there. Right now for the winter, you know what I do? I take the hose once in a while, hit the top, let the water drip in, and whatever gets water, gets water. And look at all the stuff growing in there. We can go in there in a minute, and I'll show you what's going on in the dog kennel, because I want to redo all this. And I had different ideas that would make this better. But I was going to plant something in here, and look what's coming up. This is all some sort of brassica. All these little plants with the two leaves. I don't know. It kind of puts a damper on what I wanted to do. This is potatoes coming up from the scraps. This is everything. Everything is breaking down. Don't worry about the fruit flies. They're doing, look at that. Oh my goodness. I got some worms in here. Look at that. No. Look at that. Okay, we'll put you back. Didn't even know they were there. That's good. You want to know this is gold. This is stuff I've been just collecting, you saw, for the past couple months. Same thing here. This is all, look, branches, leaves. There's eggshells, some kitchen scraps in there. All I have to do is dig down on the ground, cover it up, and start growing in it. Same thing here. There's no soil in this. Let's see what's in here. Hold on. There's no soil in here. This is just branches, but all this will break down, all of it. And of course, there's always drainage. About a ½ inch from the bottom, but you could do an inch. Depends on your area. You get a lot of rain, then you want it closer to the bottom, your drain holes. If you don't get a lot of rain, we're here in Southern California, then you go up. You can go as high as 2 inches, depending on how dry you are. If you were in the desert, I would go up 2 inches. But anyways, this did put a damper on this, and that's what Gary asked me. What do you want to do now? I said, you know what? A garden is always evolving, and it's always changing to our likes. The dog kennel that we bought is not going to go bad. So for now, I can just leave it. We can go ahead and plant in it. I'm going to plant something I'll probably end up doing. Look, this is gold. This is coming out of this. The water, I've got to use that. I can go ahead and plant anything. I could do lettuce in there, radishes. Let's see, we're in winter. Any brassicas, peppers. A little sunny, but you know how I cover my plants with plastic now? Plastic plants. I could give it the shade it needs. I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I don't know what I want to plant here because this was temporary. This was a setup so fruit flies would come to all the compost that's breaking down, no turning. The easiest thing to do, just keep dumping and keep layering. And the birds have been coming in, as you can hear them singing. And they have all the insects they want to have their babies in the spring. I don't know. We were going to extend this. I want to make it different. Not just wider, because it wasn't really going to be wider, but it was going to be different. So I'll kind of see what happens. Let's go in the dog kennel. We haven't really done that for a while. I haven't done that. It's wild. My dog kennel is wild. Again, I haven't even gone in here. I hit the top with water, and that's it. Got a mustard that probably something's chewing on. I think I saw a grasshopper in here one day. This is an eggplant. It had an eggplant on it. I told Gary to take it off. Nothing's in there. Nothing's in there. Look, I've got brassicas. These are just cuttings, see? So it's doing their own thing all on their own. Let's put the leaf here because we keep all leaves. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful that mustard is. You got lettuce under there. We got lettuce growing here. Totally growing wild because I have done nothing in here. Like I said, I haven't even come in here in a long time. On the garden tours, I usually show it from the outside. This is beautiful. Look at this Swiss chard, and that is in an old grow bag because I don't do well with grow bags here in Southern California. I had some peppers. See the pepper plant's still here. I don't know if that's going to come back, but that's nice. Leave that. This was something that's gone. Oh, this is eggplant. Eggplant. This is all from last year. And I thought there was one more. Maybe this was the other eggplant. I don't know. What's here? Okay, this is an old pepper from last year, like those sweet peppers I grow from the grocery store. Look at this. Oh, hold on. I didn't see this. Okay, there's the other eggplant. There were 3 eggplant. But look at the tomato plant. I'm impressed. Look at the trunk on it. Okay, I'm going to keep this. It's already starting tomatoes. It came up on its own in that pot. This is all layering. So we've got an 18-gallon tote with soil that's up to here now because it collapsed. But all these have their individual pot, which means they can send their roots down and they grow independently instead of fighting with each other. If you had all those plants growing without being layered, what will happen at that point is they will intermingle with each other and the strongest will survive, or you'll end up with what? 1, 2, 3 eggplants, a tomato plant 4, and a pepper 5. You'll end up with 5 plants that are inferior than what you wanted. In other words, you won't be getting a whole lot. But individual, you hit these with water, they still are independent. So even though their roots are sharing the bottom portion of the soil that's in there, the compost in there, they still have their own pot. Can they, in theory, go into the other one? They can, but generally this works really well. This is overkill. There's really too many in here. This should probably come out and just fill it with some more soil or anything from the ground, or put some more compost in there. You can compost right in here next to this, and then let them all work together, because this is beautiful. And I do see this is growing. Look at that. We've got an eggplant starting here. So we'll clean that up. The pepper I can move out and maybe let the 3 eggplants. Unfortunately, you've got an eggplant in with the tomato, but whatever happens, happens at this point. And then maybe fill this up with some more compost. And the other thing I could do is empty one of these pots, put in some kitchen scraps and stuff in there and cover it so it will be feeding it, or I could put a pitcher in there. You know how I do the pitcher. Either way will work. All right, this is good. Like I said, I haven't been here. This is just twigs I had thrown in there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got an old pepper plant from last year that should have been picked, but the pepper looks beautiful. That's a weed down there. Avocado coming up from compost. You know what I have to do with that? I have to. I've got to go to one of my good avocado trees and try to graft it right where it's at. And if it makes it, at that point, then I've got a new avocado tree, because that will take 7 years at least to get avocados off of, even if I wanted to transplant it somewhere. If I graft it off of one of my good avocados that I've got here, my old trees, my trees are like 100 years old, I could get avocados next year. So we'll see. I really have to get to it. Another old pepper plant. I don't even know if there's water in there. This was a tomato plant growing up against the wall. I'm going to take that out completely. I didn't plant it. Here's another old, this is milkweed. Here's another pepper plant from last year. Oh, this one's trying to make a comeback. Look at the flowers that are starting. You know, I'll trim this down and add in some more goodies in there, leaves and different things, and cover it with soil. That'll be good. This comes out. This is popolo. Look at the seeds. Gary loves popolo. It's not my thing. Popolo tastes very similar to cilantro. This is really stupid. And they come up everywhere when the weather is right, and they really want it warm. It's gone, so that will be composted. And he grabbed a bunch of seeds because he's going to put it in his garden, but they need a lot of sun and a lot of warmth. So everything is kind of out of there. And that's what I was thinking of. I really like those 2 big totes there. We've got the pepper. Look at that one. Again, this is the Walmart one. Like I did the Aldi. This, look how nice this is. It's just been sitting. Something's chewing on it. It could be roly-polies. Look, there's more peppers up here. A couple more peppers in there. So this can all be redone, and I can do, what did I do last year? Cucumbers. I had them growing all over here. That's why I was going to change things up. So I could do anything. I don't have to move the soil. Just add some more leaves that I've collected to the top of what's there. Got a celery or something down there. And then pull everything out. In other words, any weeds I don't want. Just pull it out, drop it, and leave it. And this was layered in here. And there's a yellow pepper back there too. And I could go with cucumbers when the weather warms up. I could do squash. I could do tomatoes. I could do peppers, whatever I want. This does not have tulle on it. So there are some insects that can get through. But I didn't have a major problem, so I didn't cover it with tulle. And if you have a major problem, you cover it with tulle. And this worked out really good. But see, I like the 2 here. This is what I was thinking. I'm going to tell you my secret since I don't know if I'll get to it. It's not secrets. I'm joking. I like having these two very large totes. They're what? Let's see. This one's smaller. These are 18 gallon. I think this one's 10. And I think that one is 30 to 40. I don't have the label on it. And I wanted to put 2 more on this end. Now I can't put 2 more on this end because there's a door there. So I said to Gary, if I always, in this skinny little, it's skinny, it's only what, 4 foot wide, which is good. It's worked out perfect. If I had the door in the middle, see how I leave this open? I said to Gary the other day, that door, any door, we close that one off, could be put here. Now, if the door, let's step out for a minute so you can visualize what I'm doing. Look at soil, soil, soil. I use my old soil. If this door was moved off and put in the middle, it could be moved anywhere, but let's say put in the middle. Then I could put 2 more large totes there. And I always keep the aisle where I can walk. So if you get these dog kennels, I'll tag some underneath so you can look at them. This has been great. No squirrels, no rabbits, no rats, no possums, no raccoons, no nothing gets in here. I always keep an aisle so I can walk. I'm not going to do this back and forth dance when I go through, all right? I want to be able to walk straight through, service everything, and get out. Why don't you, I said, and think about, maybe for me, let him do it. He puts this together good. It's already put together, so you have to take some of his wire off. Take this section off, or at least one section, the door. Open up something here and put the door in the middle. This would be right good if I left it right through here where these totes are. Now I can walk back and forth. I think you can visualize that. And I have more of a horseshoe. You're walking in and you're having your wall in the back with things. And then I can have 2 more totes on the ground there. Now, originally I went with the way it was supposed to go together, but this is a puzzle. These dog kennels, you can put the door anywhere you want. And I don't know why, out of the blue one day, I was just sitting here looking at it. Why isn't the door in the middle? Now, what we were going to do was add on another dog kennel to this. But it, like I said, so I bought it. It's in the box. I can do that next year. I could do it in the summer. I could do it whenever I want. I could put another dog kennel on the other one if I want. Though I like my small one. I Propagate in the one back there. This one I haven't set up because it was supposed to be Gary's. He was going to do a project with it and he changed his mind. So actually, I could do something with that if I wanted to. But this one we were going to add on because it works perfect. You only needed 1 more dog kennel to add on. But if I had that door moved in the middle, I could leave these totes where they are. I can get behind them if I have to cover it with tulle. So that's not a problem. See, there's plenty of space just to cover with tulle if I need to. And that would keep all insects out. And then it gives me a big place here to grow in totes, move that rack over that I got. And I really do enjoy totes. Buckets are okay, but I'm finding them a little tight for some things. Even my potatoes didn't do that well in the 5-gallon buckets. It was too tight. And I'm thinking of going more with a tote. It's a pain to dig up, but at least they're contained and I know where they are. When you've got your potatoes in the ground and you have to take a shovel and you go through, or with a spade and boom, you're cutting through your potatoes, no. So I'm thinking of trying this year with a tote. I have grown potatoes in dish pans. You know how I love my dish pans. But again, it's a little tight, but I am finding the buckets, it didn't work out that well this past year. So we'll see. But see, I've got the eggplant in a 5-gallon type flower pot, got for free with that eggplant there. I actually think that's what I'm going to do this year. Tell him to go ahead. He said it wouldn't take him long at all because everything here is in panels. The big thing is he has to cut the 1/4-inch wire there. But he'll take that door off. And I haven't even told him yet. I think this is the place I'd want it. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter where it is. That's perfect. So when I step in, I can now service both sides. I still have my walkway. And I expand a huge area to grow in larger totes. It could be 18-gallon totes too. totes on the ground to go up. So I could have cucumbers, vining plants going up that way. Whatever I want going up that way, it could be watermelon, anything vining, use the walls on the inside. Some of you have asked me, why don't I plant and go over the roof? Put the totes from the other side closer. Here's my problem. Nature. You know my yard. We have so much nature in here, and our biggest nature problem is squirrels, both ground squirrels and tree squirrels. Tree squirrels are not the big problem for me. There's not as many, but there's a lot of ground squirrels. Anything growing on top would entice them to leap up there and just sit there and eat to their heart's desire. So it would only attract them to come in, especially when nobody's around. But everything growing on the inside would be perfect. Could I lead some of these from here to the inside? You could. You could make a little, if you really wanted to. Start growing a vine this way, trapdoor it in here, and let it grow the base of it on the inside, not the base, the top of it on the inside, and then cover this with tulle so nothing will eat it, because they don't want the trunk of the plant. They want what's growing on the top. But I'll have so much going on the inside, I'm not going to bother. This would be perfect. Like I said, it was supposed to be temporary for squash, zucchini, watermelon. Look at the sun, and this is morning. I'm already getting sun now. So when late spring comes summer, anything that loves the heat can go there and keep it out in the open. Give me your thoughts, because there might be something I'm not thinking. Now, why didn't I want the door there originally? Because my hose is over there. So with my hose there, see the hose? It's easier to open the door and walk in and water, though I'm using watering cans a lot now. But putting the door in the middle, and this is what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. This is about 20 foot long. It doesn't matter. I could have brought the hose through here and walked through, but I'm going to gain so much more. And this is why you do things and then you change things up that will work for you. Because just working in here, you know, this is why I decided to change it. Because I realize, well, am I going to get to it? I hope so. I realized it would give me 2 huge places to grow. And then I can leave this here and grow a bunch of milkweed for the monarchs. Though I am trying to keep the monarch butterflies against the wall. And I don't want to give them the whole wall, because the wall down there, those totes there, are going to be wonderful for watermelon and zucchini, like I do every year. There, I'm thinking, see the monarchs are flying around? I'm trying to keep them contained and keep it real thick with brush, so most of the caterpillars will make it, and the butterflies will be fine, and they come in, and maybe the birds won't get to them because of the heavy, dense, or real thick plants growing there. It's worked. But there's also a thing, monarchs are kind of toxic. That's why they eat milkweed. Milkweed is on the toxic side, and a lot of times the birds won't touch them because of that. So this is working out really well. I'm brainstorming with you because I haven't told Gary where I wanted the door. I just brought it up, and I said, I think I want my door in the middle. And he said, well, it's an easy fix. So what he would do is take this panel, let's say, I think I'm going to go with this panel. Take this panel out, move that panel there, and move my door there. And then I can put whatever 2 totes and reset it up before I go in there. Because like I said, everything you see growing in there, and I've been harvesting lettuce and stuff, not from here. I've got so much lettuce on my deck that I haven't even stepped in here. Now, I think the only one going in here is Gary, because he took off, there was a little eggplant on there. And I said, you got to get that off. So he used that, and I think he goes in here and takes some mustard. But we have so much mustard down there growing on the ground, look at that, that he hasn't really come in here for mustard much, but I don't ask him where he goes. All right. You're not going to see any results today because I'm going to discuss it with Gary, but I think that is the plan, is putting the door there. I want to read your comments if maybe I'm missing something. And you might come in and say, no, you can't put the door there. That's not going to work out. How are you going to do this? And then I might go, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. But just sitting out here like I do, listening to the birds, looking at everything, I'm thinking, I believe I would get so much more out of this. These are 2 dog kennels. Remember, They're 6 foot tall, 8 foot wide. But when you put two together, you gain 4 panels on each side. You gain it, instead of 16 feet, you get a 20-foot growing space. And it's amazing. And the top is too dark. Unless you're in Arizona, New Mexico, wherever it's really hot, Nevada. It was a little too dark, but I'm using it for propagating. So we went ahead and Gary just put wire on. We had shade cloth on here, but it was too dark. We realized that these plants are sun loving and we gave them too much shade. So there's no more shade cloth. I have other things I can shade them with when needed. So like I said, unless I'm missing something and it's gone over my head and I haven't seen, I think the door right there in the middle, I won't have to move anything, though I should move that chair over a little bit. He probably will end up moving it. Is this one full? Oh no, this could be moved. Move this over a little bit, leave that one there. I can go in there. I know that if I grow squash, it's going to be a tight squeeze because they can get quite big and hang over, but I could put something else there. It could be anything. And then keep this space open for the door. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's okay. Keep it shorter in case I do want to bring the hose in and wash things off. And I think that's the perfect spot. I think that's going to be great. Give me a whole big area to grow there. And then yet I could be on the inside and laughing at the squirrels. We don't get a lot of the big fruit beetles anymore. We used to get those green fruit beetles here. And I thought I'd be sitting in there with a cup of coffee in the morning and laughing at them as they try to attack me. They just bump into you. But we haven't had them, just the monarchs. Look at this. What a treat you and I have. Is that not beautiful? This is why I love the milkweed. And I grow so much and I've been giving to neighbors when they need. It's just wonderful. All right, I'm going to read your comments. Tell me, am I silly to move the door? And hopefully, if you've got a reason why I shouldn't, you get to me before I have Gary do it. But I think this is going to give me a whole big growing space. And there was nothing I used right here. The cucumbers went to about here. And then the vining stuff. And then I had the rack, which is almost a waste, but it really did work. I had lettuce all summer. So I think I am going to leave the rack, but move it over because I want to get a tote there. So maybe I'll walk into my rack or close to it. Move it over. All right. Anyways, this is me brainstorming with you because a lot of you have great ideas. And tell me what you think. Is it a stupid idea to change this up after all this time? Or is that a to-go thing? I think that would be really cool. Anything in there can be easily moved around. I love the dog kennel. Gives me peace of mind that even when it chews apart one of my plants out here, one of these squirrels, and it is devastating. You come out and you've got everything growing and all of a sudden they got into a tote because I didn't put tulle on it. Once I put tulle, I'm good. Well, here I don't have to worry about it. And like I said, I could have this whole thing wrapped in tulle in probably in an hour. And I had planned on it, but nothing got in there to bother it that I cared about. If I got any whitefly, I took it outside. What do you do with whitefly? Hose it off with water. Put it back and they were gone. And it worked great. All right, going to read your comments. This is what I plan on doing. And you tell me what you think, because I think that is the way to go. These dog kennels are amazing. And what are they? They're under $300. And they last forever. They're metal. They are metal. And they just keep on going. Love it. Have a great day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. And I'm going to go have breakfast. Bye-bye.